Not too bad, Tommy.
There you go.
So, Tommy, look at that, eh? You've just exited from the court. Can you describe exactly what went on in the court?
I moan a lot about judges, but the judge today attempted to defend free speech. The prosecution, the state, wished to impose conditions which, as he said, his words, not mine, curtail free speech. They wanted to be able to gag me totally so that I could not discuss anything about this case. But they also, my bail conditions would have meant that if you discussed anything about this case, they could essentially hold me on remand in prison. So the judge said it was too wide-ranging. He didn't agree with it, and then he told the prosecution you need to reevaluate what you're asking for because it is a curtailment of free speech. So yeah, and then I've been given now the opportunity to have a jury trial. I've never had that. Go and read my conviction list, yeah? What they do every time, and the state did it again today, what they do every time is they drop it, they charge you, and then they drop it so that you can't have a jury trial. And the state said, we don't want it to go to a jury trial today. We're happy and content for it to be heard at the lesser charge. So you have different grades of this charge that they've charged me with. We're happy for it to be at the lesser level, because then you don't get a jury. But then the judge gave me the option of what I want. I said I want to be tried by 12 members of the British public. I want them to hear the evidence in this case. I want them to see the behaviour of what's happened to me, the way that the mainstream media have behaved in this. He did give me conditions. So he has given me conditions which I don't want to breach, which still do curtail my speech, but he didn't want them to totally curtail it. So yeah, I don't.
Tell me, what are your conditions?
My conditions are not to mention the names of these individuals. My conditions are not to go into, I believe, details of what's happened. It's exactly, I thought I'd come out of here and won't be able to tell people, explain to people what's gone on. Yeah. So if I wasn't able to do that, which I'm now not, then the cameras in my face now from the establishment media will today run headlines across the country which will imply something that hasn't happened. So then they win anyway. So you're in a war where they'll attack you with their lies, they'll attack you with their smears, they'll attack you with your time. Your time is spent fighting. They said, so now we go to Crown Court on the 3rd of July at Southwark. They believe it will be shifted to the Old Bailey, which is insane. There'll probably be 30 murder trials plus me for asking journalists some questions. I think the reality is, when you turn that camera on the mainstream media, they don't like what they see. And that's all I've attempted to do is say, oh yeah, I'm going to ask you some questions now. And they don't want to be asked questions. And do you know why they don't want to ask questions? Because they have never been asked questions. They have acted with impunity. They've lied, they've smeared, they've attacked. But everyone knows they've lied. I was looking up prior to this at the trust in media across the whole of the European nations, yeah, all the European countries. Britain, the British public, have the least trust. Not the former communist states, yeah, where they know that the media lie, but the British public are now totally awake to the bullshit being fed to them, and their ability to spoon feed their narrative into the public is gone due to, look around you at these cameras, look, due to these cameras. Yeah? These cameras, social media, I think if you're sitting at home in the public and you're wondering what role you have to play in what's currently happening, which is a mass awakening of populism, of nationalism, of pride, of patriotism, and it's a tidal wave that they can't stop. If you want to know what role you can play, you just need to share. You need to talk, you need to not curtail your speech, you need to speak freely about all these issues. And unfortunately, they wish to put people like me on trial. I'm on trial for guilty of two things. Is being a decade ahead and talking about the issues a decade before. And the people who attacked me for discussing these options, these problems, are now sitting on mainstream TV shows acting like they're bringing it to light. I was saying, hold on a minute, you've crucified us. You've attacked us, but the establishment control the media. They don't want us having a voice. I have to be careful what I say, but we will now have the opportunity to have a Crown Court trial where, thankfully, due to citizen journalism, it won't just be the Daily Mail or the BBC sitting in court. It will be 20 upcoming, rising citizen journalists who are building their own mass followings, who are taking the war, because we're at war, it's a propaganda war being fed, being waged against us by the establishment and the controlled media. And there's a war going on, and the way we fight back is through citizen journalism, and it's good times.
How many days have been set aside for the trial, and are you looking forward for the first time to be going before a jury?
Do you know what? When they come in with these charges when I was in custody, I thought, I need a bit of a break from it. But then I can get myself in the mindset of I have to take every opportunity as a journalist, I took the opportunity of going to prison. I thought, I'm a journalist. Do you know how many stories I've got to tell from prison? Yeah, they give me the education, they give me the opportunity to make contact, to make inroads, to understand what's happening in the prison system. I'm going to take this opportunity to put the establishment media and their behaviour and their morality on trial for the British public.
Before you go, Tommy, if you can hold that.
You love these,
we
don't you?
we got the Urban Scoop t-shirt. I just want you to hold
Can I ask, is that a Slazenger logo? I'm not wearing it.
No, I just want you to hold it. Because
Urban Scoop, by the people, for the people, citizen journalism. Get behind not just Urban Scoop if you're watching this. Any podcaster, anyone who's uncontrollable, anyone who doesn't need sponsorship, get behind them, the up and coming, the people who are bringing out and live streaming, share their content, subscribe to them, cancel your Netflix, cancel your Amazons, cancel your BBC, cancel all of them. Get behind the ground, people coming from the ground. Yeah?